everybody. Today we're going to talk about Mathew Perry a little bit. And once again, I'm going to try to do this carefully because of the censoring overlords. So yeah, I'm going to have to do this strategically and carefully. Maybe even if it doesn't go right on, say, YouTube, it'll be streamed on Rockfin and Odyssey and a lot of other channels. So, all right. Mathew Perry, first and foremost, rest in peace. It's very unfortunate what happened. He meant a lot to a lot of people. And I don't mean to talk about people's death in a way to make an other point. Should never really do that. But this time that we live in is a little different. It's very different. And sometimes we need to, because there's a lot of deception and there's a lot of things going on where we almost have to do these in order to put a truth out, because these are really demonic times. But it's not a bad time. This is a transitional period. It's not a bad time, but demonic forces are working overtime because their time is almost up, But anyway, Mathew Perry, unfortunately, just passed, and what they tell us in the news is not true. Surprise, surprise. He died of apparent drowning. Okay. Anytime they use the word apparent, they are apparently lying. Yeah, it's the word apparent is a new thing that they added in the news. The word apparent should not be involved in any kind of scientific description at all, because nothing's apparent in science. It's investigative. This is an apparent suicide. The rope's right there. Like that. It's retarded. It's idiotic speech. Apparent does not belong in scientific descriptions of anything or describing death, diagnosing anything. Apparent does not belong. The verbiage is used, and there's lots. I'm going to do a video about that in just words, spells, and trickery. There's a lot of them in the pharmaceutical industry that they use. But the word apparent does not belong in any description of people's death. Take a look at that.
It was first shock, and then there was lots of anger. Jeffrey Epstein was an accused sex trafficker and abuser of children. He was connected to some of the richest and most influential people in the world. Tonight, he is dead by an apparent suicide.
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein apparently committed suicide. Apparently. Yeah. What really happened? He was playing pickleball for about 2 hours. So he was exerting himself. And at some point he went into cardiac arrest. And then he's no longer here, unfortunately. He transitioned. They say they changed the story to apparent drowning, which is defying all logic and reason, because you don't just step into a hot tub and drown. It's not how it works. Something happened. Even if he did fall into the water, something happened. A health problem happened to cause him to pass out, to then submerge himself underneath the water and then drown. We all know that. So when they say he died of apparent drowning, they're apparently lying. He went to cardiac arrest. I'm not going to go down conspiracy lane too long, because I don't really want to steer people in that direction, or my channel in that direction, because the normies can't handle it. Yeah, they think it's crazy talk. And then, there's that. And then the people who do, entertain those sort of things sometimes go a little too far and start obsessing about conspiracies and driving their energy in a different direction that you really don't need to go. I mean, some of these things are just good to know, to raise your awareness about some things that go on in the world, so that you're not such a sheep asleep. And it's good to just have a rudimentary knowledge of certain things that go on. So I'm just going to touch and go on this. But yeah, it's, you should know that a lot of people, celebrities, public people, are ritualistically sacrificed. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of rituals being done, sacrifice rituals being done by hanging or drowning, not and or, they'll hang them and drown them. Hanging rituals, drowning rituals, and there's other types of rituals. And this happened with Mathew Perry around on the day of the eclipse. So many believe that it was an eclipse ritual. It's also interesting to know that he was politically connected. His mother was press secretary for Pierre Trudeau, former prime minister. So yes, a political connection. They also always mention that he beat up current prime minister Justin Trudeau in school. I don't know why they keep mentioning that, but it's just food for thought. So he's kind of politically connected, politically relevant to some degree. And are all celebrity deaths conspiracies? No. And I'm not trying to say that. You got to always say this for the sensitive normies that jump on everything and that get so triggered by everything, quick to shoot everything down. No, every celebrity death is not a conspiracy. I'm not saying that. But yeah, some are. A lot of them are, actually. And it's good to know, so that their world, that they get smoked out. We know everything that you're doing. They like to play with things and throw it in your face.
Chandler, what is the matter with your face? Wait, this picture's supposed to say Geller and Bing to be married, not local woman saves drowning moron. Hey, don't laugh at him. He's my drowning moron.
He got a little better. But then he died.
God? If heaven has a door,
I want to go through the tunnel to the other side.
But we're getting to a point where they can't really play. So, and I'm not saying that this definitely happened, because I am no longer into definitely giving my opinion, like this is what I believe. I'm just giving food for thought that a lot of people believe this was a ritualistic sacrifice. You my friends and people who know me personally, you can give me a buzz. Actually, please don't. Yes, you can. You can hit me up, and if you want to know what I feel about it, yeah. But publicly, I'm not giving an opinion. This is just content. So, yeah, on the day of the eclipse, a drowning ritual. There's another school of thought that believed that he was of those who took the thing and was another one that went down. Why is that? Because of the initial reports. Well, first and foremost, he was one that felt the need to proclaim that he got the thing. He was one of these celebrity tools, that seemed to, found it necessary to promote that shot. And he did. So he was one who got it. And then there's this cardiac arrest situation. Was it definitely cardiac arrest? Well, that was the original reports. The original reports were that he was playing pickleball for about 2 hours. So he exerted himself and he went home, and at some point he went into cardiac arrest. Why do I say that? Because that is according to the factual initial reports. It was a call about cardiac arrest. And then this drowning stuff came in later. So the initial reports, pickleball, went home, some point went to cardiac arrest. And then, the official story morphed into being found in hot tub, unresponsive. Death by apparent drowning, which is no longer apparent because now they're saying they don't know. So why they use the word apparent, I have no idea. So there's a few things. You believe what you want to believe. He was ritualistically sacrificed. Aaron Carter, Whitney Houston, there's many in that same situation. Sacrificed, let's say allegedly sacrificed the same way. Or it was a shocked adverse reaction, maybe. And, it's true that he had, he had a history of drugs and alcohol, could have had a bad heart, anything could have happened. But so why would they hide that? Well, yeah, they would hide that because they did that with Bob Saget. They did it with Ivana. They changed their deaths. They died from cardiac. The initial things that they reported was heart attack, cardiac arrest, and then they changed it. Why did they do that? Well, they let a lot of people go. There's so many people who died of cardiac arrest, heart attack, a lot of people. There was some wrestler that they didn't really care about. There was a news reporter they didn't really care about. There's a lot of people that died of cardiac arrest or cardiac or heart attack after and they let them go. But every once in a while, there's someone that's a little too famous to go on that tally chart. Even if it could have been something else or something else, they had a history of substance abuse like Mathew Perry, they still don't want to have people start connecting dots to that. And yes, he did get the thing, and, the calls were about cardiac arrest. And, some people like I said, like him, they'll let a bunch of them go because they have to. It's happening. They'll let a bunch of them go. But sometimes they'll get that one person that like, he or she is a little too famous for us to let them go on that tally chart. So they changed it. I think both of them, Bob Saget, cardiac arrest, they changed it later to blunt force on some cock and bull story. Same thing with Ivana. They changed, she died of heart attack. Initial reports, cardiac arrest, something with the heart. Then they changed it later, she fell. So there's that. So you can believe that. You can believe the sacrifice, or you can believe the official story, which is a parrot drowning, but changed to I don't know. This is today's news, folks. So yeah, that's all I want to say about that. It's just that the official story, anytime it seems that something off, usually there's something off. So there's something off that story. And that's all I want to say about that. The official story does not check out. That's all I'm saying. Not offering a belief, opinion, just giving you guys food for thought. All right, moving on. And this is the thing that we have to realize now is that because we didn't, many of us, in these here United States, we didn't grow up like this. The media is always bad. The media is always deceptive. But we're at an all-time high where it's reached its peak. It's worse. The media lies so often now, and a lot of people are still trying to grasp that reality because we did not grow up like that. The media was always dishonest, but I don't think people are understanding how dishonest they've become, and they're censoring now. That never was an American media thing to do, to censor opinions. They're doing it now, and it's going to be difficult for people to realize that we've surpassed other countries in being the worst at a lot of things. When it came to state-run media, censorship, we knew that, oh yeah, that's true in Russia, maybe. Or that's true in China. Or that's true in Korea. We all know that these countries have state-run media and the media is bad. But we have to open our eyes to realize the United States has become worse than all those countries. And, it's state-run media. And they lie, and they change the deaths, and they do all these things. And there's a lot of normies that are holding on. They're sheepy. They don't want to wake up to this reality. But this is the reality that we live in. 50-50 chance these videos they're going to get removed. Because I'm telling you the truth, that they are monitoring, they are censoring. These are the times that we are living in, and wake up, and it's only getting worse. And the reason why it's getting worse, you don't have to worry about that because the dark serves the light. The reason why things are getting so bad is because we're in an age of a shift. People are getting smarter. People are waking up. They're losing power. They're losing control. They cannot keep this intact for much longer. Their time is up. And the dark serves the light because times are getting so crazy. and getting so extreme. You don't sit and lament and get into your emotions about how bad things are. What this is doing is forcing people to wake up, because there was only a small amount of us back in the day. Now it's just if you're still asleep, it's like, what is wrong with you? They're going so far. They're doing too much. They're lying, that it's forcing people to wake up. And that's one of the many, many, many ways in which the dark serves a light. They're doing too much. They're violating universal law. That's why their time is going to get. It's gonna happen quick. It's gonna happen eventually, because once you violate universal law, the laws of karma, there's a lot that's going to happen. And to understand universal law, the powers that be had to do something called revelation of the myth. They have to tell you what they're going to do in order to remove the karma. For those of you who are Christian, for those of you who are spiritual, there is a God. There is an energy that we're subservient to, and there is karma. And they know, those people, those demonic forces know that they're beholden to karma. And so they reveal the method. They tell you in all sorts of ways. They put it in movies. They put it in TV shows as a joke. Ha, 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 but they tell you. And they make sure that they reveal the method they tell you. And if you're stupid and you just don't believe it, or you're the type of person to call everybody a conspiracy theorist, and you're an idiot, it's not their problem. They told you, and they removed the karma from themselves. Now they stopped doing that. They're flat out lying. There's flat out lying, and there's consequence for that. And they're violating universal law, and they're doing all sorts of stuff. So their time is limited. So yeah, not to worry. And there's no political leader that's going to save you. Like, there's so many people who are just in a cult. Powers within us, and you see that people are lost. The Israel, I just really like to leave that alone because it's so emotionally charged. But you see how insane people are. You see how insane a lot of people are. There's this conservative influencer that posts about Israel almost every day, and he's so brainwashed. He doesn't have the mind. And you see a lot of these conservative, like, I go in on the left a lot because the left has lost its mind a long time ago, and they've surpassed the right in insanity. Both parties are not good. People don't realize that. People forget. But the right looks like the truth. It looks like, because they're right about a lot of issues, because the left has gone so berserk. But there's stuff on the right. You see a lot of conservative pundits and public people like Ben Shapiro's, S.C. Cupp, when they're talking about the Israeli thing. You see that, like, now we're in the time where you can see the wheat and the tares. There's people who just don't have it. There's something missing. There's cogs missing. There's something wrong with these people. They're so lost in their ego and narcissism. Like, they have no empathy. They can't be objective to discuss Israel, the history of how we got here. They can't do it. They just have a small mind when it comes to certain things. These people are educated, articulate, but there's something missing. They lack something. They can't speak from a divine place because they don't have that light in them. They don't have the empathy to be objective and understand that, hey, there's a greater discussion that we can have to really understand. These people are showing you that the wheat and the tares, we're seeing that there's certain people who just don't have light, and they cannot be a part of the solution. Their mind, their way of thinking, they have to be weeded out. The wheat and the tares, they cannot be a part of New Earth. They cannot be a part of the solution because they don't have the mind for it. They're here to be small-minded. They're here to think in their narcissism, their racism, their xenophobia. They're on that low vibrational frequency. That's all they are. That's all they can be. Well, they just, you're either with us or against us. These are the good guys. These are the bad guys. Like, no, you have to open your mind and realize, okay, there's something that happened to get us here. And that's how we begin the discussion, to understand that we're all human. whether you're black, white, Arab, Palestinian, Israeli, we're all human. And we all want the same thing, all of us. But we're having different experiences, and we have different perspectives. And how you come together to solve the world's problems. You have to understand the person across from you. You have to understand yourself, and you have to take ownership of certain things in order to see the world from a pure place, a higher vibrational place, a higher minded place, in order to be a part of the world's solution. These people run in their mouth. They don't have it. They're a part of the problem. And if you're following these people and reposting these people, you too are a part of the problem. You know, we're really trying to push a new world, and a lot of people are stuck. So if you're taking sides, or which side are you on? I'm not on anybody's side. And I'm on the side of humanity, and I want the best for humanity. And if there's conflict, you know what? You don't demonize one side and deny the humanity of one side and declare the other side, oh, these people are wrong. They're always wrong. They're always wrong. They're the villains. And these people are the good. No. There's a lot you don't know and understand. Think like that. So don't let these people mislead you. All our politicians are brainwashed or bought off, and they're all saying the same things. That's why your political leaders are not the solution. It's easy to talk about this on the left, and this is why, you know what? The truth doesn't get popular, because those of us who tell the truth, you don't get supported because people hate the truth. You try to tell people about grifters. I gave the analogy of Jesus and Barabbas in the last video. They love Barabbas. The world loves Barabbas, and they want to stay in their wicked way, their nonsense. They like to get grifted. They love to get grifted. They don't want to wake up because the energy is too alluring. It feels too good to hate on this person, to be a part of this group, to clan yourself up. It feels too strong. And so they allow themselves to get grifted. They love the grifters. The politicians are not here to save you. The politicians are here to make you think someone's on the inside speaking for you, so that you give up your power, you externalize your power. All of them.
I mean, even Bobby Kennedy, a lot of us looked at him for a lot of the positions on his platform that we were like, okay, great, agree. And then suddenly he was like, he says, I'm anti-war, but Israel. Well, why Israel? And rather than giving us the answer of because it's their homeland from 3,000 years ago, or the Holocaust, or any other answer, his answer was because it's like an aircraft carrier in the Middle East. Like, he gives us the military answer, the war answer. And that was really disappointing for a lot of people. You've been really consistently anti-establishment, anti-war, and even on this issue. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it goes back, Kim, when you take a systems approach to life, you develop an ability to see things as they truly are. And you cannot have these harsh inconsistencies. You know, you brought up Booby. I call him Booby Kennedy because I have such disregard for this individual, because he is part of the swarm. He is someone who's manufactured by the swarm. And one of the swarm's abilities and needs to survive is to be able to mimic things to attract people, to make them the peasants feel like they're fighting for them. And that's why Kennedy exists. That's why he's positively or negatively put in the mainstream media, or Bernie Sanders, or people like Tulsi Gabbard, who's a warmonger. She says she's against the military establishment, but she's a warmonger. And so they have created these characters who say the words. It's almost like a psychological operation. But their goal is to make you look to the swarm for help. And that's why Kennedy was created. I was the first one who had to do this.
Can I ask you with those three in particular? Because a lot of people are very disappointed in all three for those exact reasons. Like Bernie Sanders, that movement, he really seemed like he was going to be the guy to bring it about, and then he just goes right in line with Democrats, like as if he's just one of them. Same thing, like you mentioned, Tulsi Gabbard, a lot of war rhetoric coming out of her. She was supposed to be the anti-war candidate. Bobby Kennedy, as I mentioned. So why do you think that they were set aside? And like, I mean, do you think that they got to them in advance and said, this is what we want you to do, is bring in this anti-establishment populist crowd? Do you think that they were, or is it just their own individual thinking that shifted? Was there pressure?
Well, I think you're asking a very, very quantum level question, which is one of the most important things that people need to understand. When you look at the swarm and people go through that video, what the swarm wants you to do is to look to them for your liberation, for your advancement, as though they're going to help you. This is a very, very central thesis. They do not want the 0.001%, which is probably what the numbers are. I think those numbers are accurate, versus the 8 billion. They do not want the 8 billion self-organizing, which is another systems principle. They do not want the 8 billion raising their consciousness and saying, hey, look, we have to fight for our interests. These people who come from the swarm are never going to do it for us. Now, in order to keep the 8 billion in that state of not fighting for their own self-interest, Kim, they create these characters. They need them.
All of them. I have a lot of friends on the Trump train, and I just try to tell them, listen, you're a fool. What do you think he's going to do? Seriously. What do you think he's going to do? They own those positions on the world stage. They know who's going to be elected and who isn't. So what the hell do you think he's going to do? It's like people are so, everyone around us, they're in a cult. They're in a cult. They can't save themselves. They're ridiculous. And they can't wake up and, just really center themselves and access their power and stop falling into these cults and these falling for these grifters and these ideologues. They don't have the truth in them, and they're not a part of the solution. You and me are people who are awake, fully awakened out of the matrix, able to see one another and see the games, see the puppets. If you are in this system and you're fawning over a political guy, I don't care who he is, Trump, RFK Jr., but they were talking about RFK Jr. and how he just flatlined. And he showed you he is part of the establishment just like the rest of them. And just that he talks a great game. I actually saw him speak in person a few times. I do a lot of things that I don't publicize. And he spoke and he was saying all the right things. He was challenging the establishment, even some of his own family members who are lost, brainless Democrats that were just going along with the system, publicly denounced him, and it made him a very interesting candidate. And it made him seem very honest, very truthful, very sincere, and he was saying a lot of the things that the other politicians were just way too compromised to say, especially mainly about the mandates and the V and things in that realm. But he just exposed himself as another one of the people on the world stage. They try to make you feel as though someone from the inside is your savior, is your solution, when that's not the case. And then when someone, at the times, always erect politicians to say the right thing, to keep you sitting right there in your same chair, not doing a damn thing, and hoping that guy is going to deliver you the world that you want, when that's not going to happen. It is you and I turning over the table that changes things. These guys are not here to help you. Trump, RFK Jr., they're not here to do that. We are the change. And that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of you waking up and accessing your power. If everybody had a walkout, I'm not working today to do this, or if we were collectively together on any topic, that situation is forever changed. If we all decided, okay, no more income tax, all of us across the board, every country, every state, guess what? There will be no more income tax. Period. Done. They can't stop it. They can attack me if I am the only brave one by myself that says this. They're going to throw me in jail. They'll do it to 1,000 people. But everyone across the board agreed, we're doing this, so we're not going to do that. It's done. It's done. And they fear that. And I just gave you one thing that should stop. And you hear me, you know I'm right about that one thing. Just imagine if everyone in the world just agreed with me on that one, and we started from there, and we just went from topic to topic to topic. Hey, we're not doing this anymore. There's no more of that. Income tax is a big one. They don't want channels talking about that income tax. They want you to talk about Taylor Swift and what's his name, Pfizer boy. Anyway, moving along. I'm gonna get home because I don't want these videos to be too long. I'm actually working with a social media manager, and I'm gonna be coming back to my main channel, and I'm gonna be coming back to my own personal channel. I'm gonna start some pages because I wanted to revamp my social media presence, but I had to take some time to myself to go within and figure out what I wanted to do, because I'm not a social media guy, because I'm a spiritual guy and I feel the energy. A lot of people are getting ensnared in this energy, and it's sorcery. A lot of people are addicted to attention these days. They don't see it and they don't want to admit it. But a lot of people are addicted to attention. And that's why you see such an explosion of nonsense on TikTok and good things on TikTok. People reposting videos, but they can't just repost the video. They got to post the video with their face in the corner, reacting to it. It's like you see that all day on TikTok. Like, what the hell is wrong with these humans today? It's just an addiction of attention. And that's why I don't like to be on social media too long. I don't want to feed it my energy. Because, when you're a high vibrational divine masculine with an awareness of energy, you don't want to just participate. So I wanted to examine things. And I had my Facebook page hacked, my email hacked. They took it. My Facebook page is gone. And I feel like refreshed. Let it happen. I feel refreshed. It's going on. And I'm going to come back in a different way, in a new way, when I start a new page. But I'm going to start my pages more purposefully. I don't want to be one of these people posting, oh, this is the sandwich I ate today, or look at me, here's me in Bermuda, like, hey, or, hey guys, this is my opinion on something that no one has ever asked me, but I'm going to give it, and this is what I think. I don't want to participate in that culture of like, look at me, look at me, look at me. I seen it happen early back in the day, because I was someone it made sense for me to be on, these platforms promoting things. I always had reasons to promote things as an artist, musician, as a independent journalist. But then I saw the switch and the change and how these apps were baiting your average everyday people to become in love with self-promotion, to fall in love with, the addiction of just being seen and heard. People are going viral for good things, for stupid things, for nonsensical things, for low vibe things. They love it. The apps love it. They love to harness your addiction and harness your energy and ensnare you. So I'm talking with a social media manager and some people, and they were just like, yo, you should be known. Like, and they were surprised when I give them content, I give them what I want to do. And I explained to them my hangups. Like, I'm not really trying to be famous. I'm not trying to be seen. I want to do things purposefully. So I want to come back to social media with, I'm a grown ass man. I don't care about the TikTok talent challenge of the day. Who's eating what. I won't have time to play around on the internet. So I want to come back purposefully. I want to promote my business. My businesses are doing very well anyway, but if it can help what I'm doing, I want to come back and talk with the social media while I am talking about to promote, do things that promote my business. I want to do things to promote my music, because I'm coming back to that with some projects and work, and do things to promote the message that I want to give out on a video or, whatever have you on my channels that do that. I don't want to be online for anything else but purpose. Focused purpose. I don't want to play around in the comment sections. I don't want to play around with self-promotion or give my energy toward wanting to be seen, because it's very addictive. And I see a lot of people, even spiritual people, getting caught up in that. I don't want to be caught up in that. So I'm fine. Some of my pages are boring because I'm not really, I feel the pull just like everybody else, but I don't want to jump in until I really figure out what I'm going to do, How I'm going to do it? I'm talking with these people that are helping me and convincing me to go on TikTok and all these things. Like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm considering these things. And, in a few months from now, you might see things from me, and it might not sound like me. It's probably most likely I didn't do it. But I'm going to be on a mission to really optimize what I do. But in closing, I think it's good to realize that the world has changed and it's getting bad because there's a silver lining in that. Things are getting so extreme because it's forcing a mass awakening. This gender stuff that you're seeing the wheat and the tares. These people that are going along with it, they're already dead. They're already dead. If you can agree to mutilate your child because the child that says that they're a boy, if they're a girl, or a girl that they're insane. They don't know what they're doing. But those of us who are enraged and see what's going on, it's gonna activate. It's gonna wake you up, and this is going to be the precursor to the change that's needed. So this is a very good time. This is why some of us came here. That's why I came here. This is a very good time to be alive, and I can take off the sunglasses. And the sun is not that bright. It's a great time to be alive. I would put them back on. I look sleep. All right. It's a great time to be alive. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of change ahead. And what is needed to get out of these cults, there's a lot of people, like I said, they're trying to pull you into political cults. They're trying to pull you to religious cults. They're trying to pull you in race-based cults. There's so many traps for your energy, and I see people falling into it. This is not the way. This is not the way. The way forward is to liberate your soul, to live on a higher vibration, and see how you can break out of the matrix and detach yourself from the things that a lot of people are energetically ensnared at. Telling you, if you're in one of these cult groups, you got like 70, 60, 70, 80% of the truth, but the 20, 30% that's toxic is going to anchor you into the matrix. I promise you that. I promise you that. If you can't see it, there's a lot of people who identify certain things that, you know what, I applaud you, I respect your group, but there's only a slither of those people who are able to operate with respect for people from a different persuasion, different ideology, so be careful when you're ensnared in these groups and labels. Sometimes it feels good to be a part of a group, but a lot of times you fall into this us versus them, or, I find a lot of people on the right, oh, you liberal, they dismiss people, they're just a liberal. Yeah, they're just a liberal. And but you're not seeing all the crap you do. There's a lot of things on the conservative side that is just as toxic. There's this new thing, Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson putting out these things about George Floyd. It's like, okay, so what is that? So you're saying that it's okay for a police officer to kneel on a human being's neck for 9-10 minutes? This toxicology report proves what? Yay for the establishment. Good job. These cult groups and things going around, they're designed to steal your humanity so that you think with the matrix and you serve the matrix. We live in a police state pretty much. And these things trick you and fool you. People don't even know what they're doing. Why are you talking about George Floyd's toxicology report? As if to say, a guy doesn't have much money, and a guy who allegedly used a counterfeit $20 bill deserves to have a knee in his neck in the street on the public as people walk by until he dies. And then we need to see a toxicology report? Are you out of your mind? Are you an insane, savage? I'm human. I'm still human, and I'm sorry these things don't work on me. And there's many other things on the right that they're trying to peddle, and it's because you're a part of the group. They're right about this. They're right about the V's. They're right about everything. They're right about guns. They're right about all these things. And then there's this one thing they just try to slip into the mix. Hey guys, look at this. And then you're still like, yeah. The police kneel on the guy's neck, and he didn't die of that. He died of this. Yeah. No, you lost your mind. Get out of these groups if you can't handle it. you can't keep your humanity intact, you know, because you know, these people are so weak.
You ever see one of those hacky skits in TV, cartoons, sitcoms, where there's a guy like leading the crowd, and the guy's like,
We want this, and everybody's like, yeah, and we want this, and we're like, yeah, the crowd's like, yeah, and then he just slides in one weird thing, and the crowd is still like, yeah, that's all these people around you. You know, it's you know, I don't speak as a liberal, of course. I'm not a liberal Democrat, and I don't speak as a Republican conservative either, because a lot of things are floating around on both sides that are just not right, because you're thinking with the herd, the hive mind, you know. So the way to fight the matrix is to detach yourself from these prisons of the mind and live on a high frequency. Right? So all I'm going to say for now, guys, be well, and until the next one, take care.